Good morning. This is Robert Goodman here on Positive Strokes, Staying Clean. I am so happy that you are here and being a part of my recovery. And today I'm going to talk about looking back on the way I perceive things to be, looking back on my addiction and how this looking back affects my recovery and living my best life. Well, as I look back, when I was young and when I was living with my mother, we were poor. And tragedy and situations happened. And I didn't like being poor. I didn't like people looking at me as the third wheel because they was assisting us in helping us make ends meet, whether it was family or friends. Uh, I get to notice those looks that we feel sorry for you, but you are cringing on our benefits of living our best lives. That look. And made me be very ashamed of my situation. So as life moved on, my survival rate was great because I never put myself in that situation again. I found means and ways to have money. I found means and ways to live life the way I thought it should be. And along that road that I traveled kept me in active addiction for many years, but living a crazy and fast life of no morals, uh, not following the laws of the land, uh, just doing whatever I felt was necessary for me to enjoy life. And as I look back to that lifestyle, that money became my God because I didn't want to feel poor. So I achieved to have money to do the things that I wanted to do. And drugs helped me along to live the lifestyle that I choose to live. But the drugs became my prison. I realized in my addiction that money is the root of Robert's problems. Money. Because here's the thing, I realized that the more money I had, I could do what I want. And people would accept the things that I would do because of the money that I had, that they're trying to get some of that money or some of them drugs so they can enjoy the life the way they choose to. So I learned that people that have money have a lot of people that are trying to kiss their ass so they can live the life that they choose to, whether you are right or wrong. And I realized in my recovery that peace of mind and enjoying life on life's terms had nothing to do with money. To have a good relationship with your family, your children, your wife, having a job that's paying you a good, sound amount of money to take care of your family, that you are working and are respected at your job because you're doing what you need to do above beyond the call of your duty for that job. And I realized that when I let go of my addiction, when I let go of that lifestyle, that I was right back to where I was when I was young. And that is so funny. Life became full circle. So what I ran from when I was young and dealt with the issues and the trauma and the problems that my young adult life I had, I ran to money and drugs so I can live the lifestyle that I choose to live, to let everybody know that Robert wasn't poor anymore. And in the 40 years of living a life filled with drugs, it was still the same thing as me being poor. So recovery made me to look at who Robert was and the actions that he did in his addiction and before his addiction. The recovery taught me that the choices that I choose to make in my active addiction was false. That what gave me temporary pleasure only lasted for a short period of time. And when my money and my lifestyle didn't give me that pleasure, then the cocaine was there to make sure I received that pleasure. And then the cocaine became my prison. And then I started to think about something that I was taught very at a young age. And it was taught to me that money is the root of all evil. That money is the root of all evil. That there will be lovers of money which would destroy themselves and their family. And as I got into recovery, that lifestyle that I was living was gone because my addiction took me right back where I did not want to be at a young age. But I had many years in my active addiction enjoying life and the fruits of my labor of illegal money. So as I sit back and having time in recovery and years in recovery, I realized that recovery taught me that peace doesn't come by having money. Love does not come by having money. True happiness with thyself does not come with money. I learned that money is for goods and services, to get the things that we need and the things that we want, and nothing else. It has no value on your happiness. Your happiness value comes from within. And recovery taught me that I have to clean the wreckage of my past because that's exactly what kept me in my active addiction. So I need to look at thyself to make thyself better. You know, as I am in my recovery and I have years clean, and I always tell my wife, I said, I wish I met you when I was doing well, when I had. in my dope game. But then I realized that no, because we would probably destroy each other. But the point I'm trying to make is that I wish I had the money that I had then to enjoy life with her. I don't think it would have been good for us to be together when I was in my active addiction. I would have destroyed her life as well as probably being in a worse situation than I ever experienced in my life. So, looking back lets me know that in order for Robert to get better, in order for Robert to feel good about himself, in order for Robert to have peace, in order for Robert to move forward in his recovery, he must identify the initial pain and trauma in his life to make himself better. And my initial pain is that I was so ashamed of being poor that I thought everybody was looking at how poor we were. How I thought people didn't care and love us because we was poor, and people would look at us and they would help us, but we would be a burden to them because they have their own issues, problems, money situations that they had to face. Something to think about. So my recovery depended on me of healing that broken boy years ago. To heal the broken self at the young age. To heal that broken man at the young adult age. And by me addressing these issues in my life got better. I understood myself better. I knew exactly what I was going through. I understood my feelings and emotions better. So, looking back, when you look back at yourself, look back to the things far beyond your addiction, before you even got addicted, before you even look at the issues in your life that caused you to use in the first place. I looked at the issues that caused me to use in the first place, and it has changed my life. My life is better. Oh, I have a lot of emotional pain that hits me, that brings tears to my eyes, because I'm truly getting to understand who Robert is, why he feels the way he does, and why he acted the way he did years ago. I hope I shared some things with you so you can do your soul searching. Because when I do soul searching, I make myself better. When I do my soul searching, I'm releasing the pain and the hurt that's built deep inside of me. Remember, I'm 66 years old. I've been in active addiction for 40 years before I even got into recovery. So there's a lot going on with me. I share this with you because I don't want you to feel the pain that I've experienced in my active addiction and the pain in my recovery of overcoming the situations of my past. The more I work on myself, the better I get. But I also learn just how much emotional and mental pain I suppressed in the years in my addiction. I want y'all to have a great and wonderful Wednesday. Remember, you've done the best that you've done to get where you've at today. And by having recovery, your life is getting better. The more you work on yourself, your life gets better. The more you invest in your recovery, your life gets better. Remember, the goal is for you to live your best life. The goal is for you to die clean and sober. The goal for you is to enjoy the blessings that recovery has given you. I want you to have a great and wonderful day.